Okay, I have some few reminders about the way you communicate with your classmates, with your teachers, and the announcement. May I inform you, the Canvas assignment is not just for you doing something on it. Topics are posted in there. Sometimes you're not required to work on something except to read it for your for your information, to read it for your review, something like that. If there are requirements that you are going to submit, your reference is always the article to where it is attached. Your reference is always to where those questions are posted. We don't have to go beyond the article, okay, that are posted in your Canvas assignment. Your Canvas assignment is actually a deployment of classroom activities. It's not just a deployment of where we can give you assignment, quizzes, or whatever. All the reading materials are all posted in your modules, and then that is also reflected in your assignment. Okay, the clue that there is something to work on is that it has empty. Okay, all the empty. If it is empty one, that means there is something there that you have to submit. Due dates are just so ample. So that means midterm assessment 1. That is what it meant by empty 1. Okay? There rise empty 2, but then hindi ko pa siya pinupost. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay? If this is final coverage, then you are going to I'm going to write there, codes of those that you are going to submit is FT1. Ibig sabihin, Final Term Assessment 1. Final Term Assessment 2. Sa ngayon, sa midterm, nasa MT1 pa lang tayo. Yung quiz reference, I'm not yet opening it, but that is a reference to the discussion in the lecture. Okay? And that is also a quiz for your chapter 1 in the book, if you have already the book. Okay? Bear in mind that if there are things that you are able to read in the book already, it's not for me to discuss anymore. What I'm going to give it to you are things that you cannot read it from your prescribed text. I believe that you're responsible enough that to read your textbook, to read some of those that are posted in your Canvas, and I don't have to repeat all of them all over again. So today, I've noticed that a lot of students keep on asking questions that can be answered by those that you can read in the Canvas, especially so in the announcement section. So pareho-pareho tayo nag-a-adjust. Pag hindi ko naman kaagad-agad nasasagot yung mga queries nyo, kasi nga ang dami-dami na sinasagot ko within the day. So sometimes the answer is just there in your assignment. Sometimes the answer of your question is just in your announcement. Okay, just like today, I'm happy with your section that you're able to open your conference in the assignment area. Okay, so this is going to be a very exclusive lecture for your section only. The difference between me opening Canvas assignment for your conference is that you're going to have an exclusive audience. I'm going to have an exclusive audience, and that is your section only. If I'm going to open it in Canvas Conference, everyone can drop by and join the conference. You may be short of time asking some questions if you want to ask some questions. So I would want that your section will have to be very exclusive in your time or your official schedule, which is 7:30 to 9. Is that all right? You can raise your hands if you have some questions, huh? May I know in this section who is actually administering the group chat? There are very few or members of the group chat. Do you know where you should find your group chat? Huh? Yan ang section nyo. Yan ang group chat nyo sa Facebook. Try to look for that in your Facebook Lite. Hindi na kasya kasi doon, hindi na kaya ng yung regular na Facebook. So nilagay ko siya sa Facebook Lite. Okay, you can also post your questions there so that even if I'm holding my cell phone, I'll be able to answer you. With the inbox kasi I have to go to my laptop to open it and reply to you. Okay? Is that clear, class? Clear na ba tayo? Okay. Okay, sige. Thank you for that. I'm going to attach something in our chat, and then maybe I don't know if you can view the lessons here. It's all about the Asian regionalization. Pwede ko i-attach dito ha para hindi kayo upload from my computer. Okay. Okay, just saw some caricatures there if you are able to open it. Are you able to open them? To open the file? Ayaw pa ma-open. Wala po yung file. Okay. Okay, so I'll just have to share you my screen. I'm talking here of the Asian regionalization. So, what do you understand by the ASEAN regionalization? If you're going to notice, this is not ASEAN. It is Asian. Okay? So, it is Angelica, reactor chat with Asian girl. Yes. What was it? Where? Can't hear join the meeting. Okay. So there are still others trying to join the meeting. I think there is a heart already attached to the file. So I hope that all of you, it's quite long. I just don't know if everybody can view it, but I would like you to react on it so that I know what to do. Get your photo. So you are able to open it. Are we going to start? Yan. Yes po. Yes po. Okay. So you are able to view it. Thank you for that. Now, what I need to do is transfer this one. I hope I would do it right. Okay, about the assignment so that I can shift from one screen to another. So I have another screen here for everyone. I hope that you can catch up with the way how we're doing things. Yes po, ma'am. Okay, now, if you can view it, can you share your screen? Whoever is able to view it, can you share your screen? So what's our objective? It is usually at the end of the 60-minute discussion, the student should be able to, okay, number one, this is what you should remember. Differentiate between regionalization and globalization. And then identify the factors leading to a greater integration of the ASEAN nation. Analyze how different Asian states confront the challenges of globalization and regionalization. So, if you're going to look at the objectives, what do you think is bigger in scope? Is it Asian? Is it regionalization or globalization? Yes, true. Globalization. Because when you talk of regionalization, it's just a portion of whatever is global. Okay. So, the ASEAN, which is ASEAN, it's just a regional community of countries that belongs to the Southeast Asian countries. And this is composed of only about 10 countries. With ASEAN, however, it's a lot of countries that is a member country. So with ASEAN, you would most likely to enumerate the Philippines, of course. It all started with Mafilindo. If you are aware of what Mafilindo is, it's Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia. These are the primary countries or the important countries before who formed the first ASEAN group. However, through the years, they have included Brunei Darussalam, they have included Thailand, Bangladesh, Vietnam. So these are countries now that is composed of the ASEAN countries. Anyway, as we go along, you will see the different member countries here and how they affect the regional economy of our region. So, what is a region? Region is a group of countries located in some geographical specified area. Region can be combination of two regions. Region can be combination of more than two regions organized to regulate and oversee flows and policy choices. So, among the Asian countries, to whom are we so close with? Among the ASEAN countries, to whom are we so close with? Class, are you still there? Oh, oh, you're still there. Is it Malaysia? Is it Indonesia? Is it Brunei Darussalam? Or what? Oh, Indonesia. Really? And then, is it really Indonesia? Or Malaysia? Or Brunei Darussalam? Ah, China. China. Why China? Why Indonesia? Francesca, why do you think are we so close with China? Because of our president who is trying to open our doors with the Chinese because the relationship becomes sour during the time of Noynoy Aquino. Is that right? Okay, that's how you believe in. Now, how about Jasmine, Shannon? Why do you think we're so close to Indonesia? Guess lang po. Okay, that's all right. We are also close to Malaysia. You have to understand that even part of Malaysia is supposed to be part of our territory in our long history in ASEAN countries. Remember the Sabah Island. That is supposed to be part of our territory, but I just don't like to go into politics, geographical politics. But whatever happened in between those times, there are a lot of stories that you can hear. But supposed to be, Sabah is part of our territory, which is now under the territory of the Malaysian government. And if you're going to see Sabah Island, it's dominated actually by our Muslim brothers who are doing business, and it's actually a piece of island that is so rich with natural resources. That's why during the time of Marcos era, he was really trying so hard to guard Sabah Island, but then one a prominent citizen came up with something to spoil that claim of ours. So I wouldn't elaborate really on that, but history will tell you, or you can have some readings about it. But our armies were all prepared to get that back from Malaysia, only to find out that somebody squealed the plan of our government. So therefore, our government was not able to pursue or get that back from the Malaysian government. So up to now, even trade is very rich between our Mindanao group of island and that Sabah Island. Okay, and then what's here? What's next? The process of dividing an area into smaller segments called region. So, do you know some region aside from ASEAN countries? Like the EEC, that is also a regional economy. EEC is European Economic Community. Get it? Okay. It's a division of nation into states or provinces. In the economic context, regionalization is a management tool. Why do we say, what has management to do with regionalization? Can somebody say something about it? Can somebody say something about it? Why is regionalization a management tool? It is actually a tool where you have a certain level of control in the flow of trade, in the flow of tourism or migration, in terms of security, so that we are when you are trying to guard smaller regions, you are able to control it. But if it is so big enough for the different members of the region to guard it, it's just so difficult. So security wise, you are able to manage it, and if countries are divided into regions. Okay? Next. Regionalism is created as a sort of counter-globalism. Counter-globalism now. What is your impression about the ASEAN countries? It is said to be a group of poor, fledgling economy of the world. But you have to understand, when you talk of ASEAN as a region, the potential is with its people. ASEAN countries are thickly populated, okay? And therefore, there is market here. When I say there is market here, it means that when you produce, there are consumers. Okay? So, it is actually a force to reckon with, and the global economy cannot just ignore these poor countries because there is where market exists. I am not saying that there's no market in other countries. But if you talk of population consuming goods and services, these ASEAN countries have it all. In terms of labor supply, we can supply the world with the future captain of the industries that other rich countries don't have because of their aging economy. So if you're going to look at Japan, the average population of Japan is already about 44 years old. And then look at America, it's 40 years old. Comes Germany, it's 47 or 48 years old. But in ASEAN countries, like the Philippines, you have majority of its citizens at the age of between 23 to 25 years old. So, what does that age means? That means the labor market is so vast in this area that production facilities and production capacities of its country with the right capital and investment will prosper. Hindi mo na problema kasi hindi mo na problema ang mag-hire ng labor kasi maraming supply dito. At hindi siya ganon kamahal. It's not like in other regions where labor is so expensive. So, why is so expensive? Because there's very few supply and people, its citizens are already aging. Okay? Next, regional organization will always prefer regional partners over the rest of the world. Okay. Ano ba yung mga regional partners na sinasabi natin? Regional partners natin in terms of trade. Regional partners natin in terms of security. Sino ang nagtutulungan para sugpuin ang terrorism sa Pilipinas. Di ba yung mga ASEAN countries din, they're very much concerned because the disturbance that terrorism will inflict to one country, they're going to be affected also. If you're going to look at our geography, there is just few miles, our country is just few miles away from the shore of other countries. Napapalibutan tayo lahat ng ASEAN countries. Nasa sentro tayo. Strategically location para sumagana ang trade. Strategic location para magkaroon ng problema because of terrorism. Strategic country para pagdausan ng unang pagbubomba sa gyera. Okay, why did I mention that? That's why our country is always the point of contention between US and China. Because our country is very strategic if they want to go into war. We are in the center. Okay? But the losing end here is that we are at the losing end because hindi tayo kaaway, but they're doing their war in our country. That is what we're trying to avoid. Okay, that's what we're trying to avoid. So we are trying to be friendly with everyone. Okay? Sige, I'll not discuss why the Philippines is so close to China because there are a lot of schools of thought about it. You yourself can gauge, why do we have to be very friendly with China? Why do we have to protect the interests of the United States also? So, who are we? Sino ba kakampi namin talaga? Is it the US? Is it China? Okay? Are this country can be trusted in terms of our security? Can somebody say something? Who do you think can be friendlier to us? Who do you think can protect us? Between the Cold War of China and Japan, who do you think are we closer with? Is it China or Japan? Who do we get a lot of benefits from? Is it China or Japan? Between China and US, however, who do we prefer to be our ally? Is it China or US? So there are a lot of schools of thought. Our concern, okay, ma'am, ask po. Okay, sige. Ma'am, what do you mean? US. Ma'am, US po. Mas maganda bang kakampi ang US? Why do you think so? Bakit mas gusto nyo ang US na kakampi natin? Kasi pare-parehas lang silang gustong sakupin ng Pilipinas. Bakit gusto ba nila ang Pilipinas? Magaganda ba at gwapo ang mga Pilipino? Isa na. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I agree with unceremoniously, without us really knowing, because they know that we are so weak in terms of our security. I think the trigger is the case filed in court by the Aquino administration. There rise the anger of China because they were shamed by the Philippines. Napahiya sila sa buong mundo na nananakop sila. Ngayon, nung nagkaroon ng case, pinanindigan na nilang sa kanila. So, I don't know if there is a better way or a better course of action that should have been done for China not to have really claimed so much of our island. So, there's no question about that. It's ours. And even the ITLOS have given us that authority of being an economic zone, of that China is nine dash that China's nine dash line is really illegal. That's according to ITLOS. But nonetheless, the problem is, even if it is a decision that came from ITLOS, the problem is China doesn't want to recognize it. And so they continue on trying to occupy that piece of island. So what do we do now? Do we want to go into war with them? Paano natin mababawi yon? Habang tahimik tayo at nakikipag-friend tayo sa kanila, the world understand because we are poor nation. And our choice is to just get whatever it is that we can get out of that friendship. But the world is trying to condemn China for doing it. Nakuha nyo ba? Naiintindihan tayo ng ibang countries na hindi tayo makalaban sa China. Okay? Habang nakikinabang tayo at nabibigyan tayo ng mga aid na nanggagaling sa China, yun ang ginagawa natin because we are incapacitated to go against them, especially so in terms of war armaments. Diyos ko, kapiranggot lang tayo sa warfare ng China kung lalaban tayo. So hinahayaan natin let the world condemn China. Basta tayo hindi natin sila inaaway, nakikinabang din naman tayo kahit papano. Okay? Nakikinabang hindi lang sa benefit pero sa disgrasya din. Nakuha nyo ba? So hindi lang benefit, meron din tayong disgrasyang napupulot sa pakikipag-friend natin sa kanila. Did you get that? How about the others? Are they still listening or no more? You listen very carefully. This is going to be a subject of your quiz 2. Sometimes hindi ko pa ini-schedule para nakaka-pick up kayo kaysa yung babasahin nyo yung lahat ng article doon, pwede din. Kaya lang kung mas makikinig kayo dito, marami kayong mapupulot pag tamad kayong magbasa. I'm not tolerating you not to read. It still helps that there is material that you can lean on when there are things that you don't understand. Okay. Class, I'm going to share you a video within this PowerPoint. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, watch ha. Nakikita nyo dyan, yung slide natin? Okay. Uh, what the man was saying, what the speaker was saying is that regional integration is very important in the plan to reach that goal of 2030. Asian goal of 2030 is a very tight integration of these nations to really uplift the standard of living of all people in the region. And it says that if we are to really grow, because we need growth, if we are to grow, we should double the growth. That means if, for example, the Philippines have a growth rate of 6.2 that was in 2019, that means we're going to have 12.4 economic growth for the people to really experience it. For the people to really experience the difference in their life. For the people to really experience prosperity. Is that far from the reality? What do you think are the hindrance of getting into that goal 2030 of the ASEAN region? What could have been the roadblock of that goal of 2030? Sa palagay nyo, yung pandemic, right? So, the pandemic is not isolated to the Philippines. Actually, it's the whole world that suffers. Not just us, but I think you will understand that poorer countries will have the biggest setbacks. It will have the biggest setbacks, knowing that we are just I think siguro if there's somebody who unmuted the microphone, please mute it so that there will be no echo. Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. My point is poorer countries will have the biggest sufferings in terms of growth, because if you're going to notice at 6.2 we're just trying to put things back in these times and trying to really put all our production capacities in the line, and then suddenly this COVID-19 came and we are all unarmed. So almost all the gains that we have experienced, almost all the gains that this economy have, were all thrown or we're all siphoned to help control the pandemic, which up to now is still very much in our midst. Okay, so I will tell you, this will take a lot of years again for us to go back to our feet. Okay, we should not be so ambitious that after the pandemic, we are all okay. If you're going to notice now, why are we doing this in this conference? It's because we cannot go back to school and be with our classmates. I cannot go back to school and be in FEU to see all of you and know the after effect of this. What happens to the canteen? What happens to the HEPA lane? What happens to Golden Baboy in front of FEU? What happens to Starbucks in front of FEU? There are no customers that will enter those restaurants. Okay, you might not know it. By the time that you're back in FEU, wala na sila doon. Just yesterday, if you know this Emerald Restaurant, itong nasa baba ng along Rojas Boulevard, yung pinakamatanda na restaurant na kung saan dinadausan ng malalaking kasal, binyag, ganyan. Kahapon nabasa ko, nagsara na siya. Hindi niya na masustain ang pagkawala ng mga kliyente. Nakuha niyo ba? So, ganyan din ang mangyayari sa mga industry links na nakadikit sa FEU. Ang sinasabi ko, yung mga taga-Xerox doon, yung mga nagtitinda ng mani, though these are small, they're able to get go of their daily expenses because of their small income derived from you buying from them. Now that entirely you are not there, what happens? They don't have customers. So, they don't have an income. I told you, when a person have a small business or have a work, they earn an income. What does income give to these people? The purchasing power. Okay? What's that power? It's vested on them that they are able to provide for themselves the goods and services that they need. Yun ang nabibigay ng meron kang income. Sa ngayon, marami ang nawalan ng trabaho. Okay? Marami ang nawalan ng trabaho. Therefore, anong impact niyan sa economy natin? Marami ang walang purchasing power. So, ibig sabihin, marami ang mawawalang taxes na dapat ikukulit ng government. At kung mawawala yung mga taxes na yan, what happens next? Matitigil sandali yung mga government projects na ginagawa. Yung mga malalaking gastusin. Yung mga pag-support niya sa mga hospital. Okay? Yan ay mababawasan. Kasi nga, walang pagkukulitan ng taxes. Ngayon, hahayaan lang ba ang social service? Hahayaan lang ba ang hospital na mawalan ng pondo? Hindi naman pwede. Anong gagawin ng gobyerno natin? Mangungutang. Nakuha nyo ba? Ano ang pambayad naman ng gobyerno natin? Nakadepende yan sa makukolektang taxes. At saan nakadepende yung taxes collected? Sa mga bumibili. Saan ba nakadepende yung bumibili? Sa income nila. Paano nga wala silang income, di ba? So, that is the impact or the cycle of effect na nangyayari sa gobyerno natin. Kaya kung mangungutang ang gobyerno natin, ang pinaprioritize niyang pondohan ay yung hospital, ang health services natin, dahil yun ang pinakakailangan natin. Nakuha niyo ba? Just like last time, I've discussed to you, why did the government have to really open some businesses when the pandemic is still very much in our midst? Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo, the government is trying to balance the impact of the economy's downfall and the health of the community. Ang sa akin naman, if there's nothing that you will do outside, why go outside? Okay, nakakapag-aral naman kayo in the form of ganitong klaseng learning. Kung wala kayong pupuntahan sa labas, stay at home. 'Di ba? You're not just helping your family. You're helping the community na hindi na mahawa. And you're helping the government na hindi na kayo gastusan. That's the bottom line. Okay? Okay, I'll show you another video. Anyway, you can always go back dito sa chat natin. Naka-record naman siya, yung dinidiscuss natin. You can rerun it every now and then if you want to. Okay, this is the next video that I will show you. So, you can very well distinguish. This is just for sandali lang off lang ako ng mute ha. Dad, nandyan na ba si, Banji?
Oh.
Pagpaprito ka nito, Dad, oh.
Iwa-iwain.
Hindi na, nahiwa na. Dad, magpa-scramble egg ka, tapos isaw-saw doon bago iprito para hindi dumikit. Ha? Painit yung kawali maigi. Tawagin mo, Dad, si Banji. Magbati ka ng itlog.
Ilan?
2. Tapos, yan o. Isaw-saw mo yung ito.
Tapos saka po ito.
Tsaka iprito.
Ilan po ate ulit?
O, tingnan mo kung 30 yan eh. Ang kanyaan
Mga
siguro.
10.
Labi. Ah? 10 lang muna.
Dalawa lang po itlog.
Oo. Isaw-saw mo lang naman siya eh. Ha? Okay, tapos ilabas mo na yun, no? Yung ano. Ayan, yan. Oh, para merienda nila mamaya. Okay? So, let's go back. Can you open the PowerPoint I shared with you in the chat? Slide number 7. Who can open it? Slide number 7. Hello?
Mga 10 po yan.
Nobody's listening. Are you still listening, class? Who can open slide number 7 in the PowerPoint that I shared with you? So, Francesca, can you share it? Can you share to the class? Can you share the screen? Okay. Ay, nakita ko na. Ito. Ayaw. Ayaw ba? Can you view slide number 7 individually? Okay, I just hope I can share you my screen. It's all about the ASEAN countries. Ay, symbol din. Hindi po ma-share. So there's no sound even. Okay, Gail, please try it. Let's try. Okay, there you have it. Are you able to see it?
20 semento. Saka, 5 meter na ko. Hindi. Magkano. Magkano yan?
Hindi siya nagmo-move. Okay?